Well, 29th of July, just started back on the trail again. I took 1 day longer than I planned, and that was to beat the heat. Like 110, 112 heat index here. 97, 98 degree days. It did cool down to 80s at night after a 40-minute rain thunderstorm passes through about every night for the last week. And I just got back on the trail again where I left off at 522. And I don't know what that is. There's a bunch of buildings there. You can see the chain link fence and U.S. government property. No trespassing. So, well, I got a nice little creek here. I think there's a water source from this creek up the trail just a little bit. That's just an old bush road. I'm following this fence still. You can see the fence and see the little signs. U.S. government property. But it's a hot and sticky one today. 97 degrees. They're calling for rain in the afternoon again. Maybe I'll hike out of it once I get out of this valley. It seems like every valley, every gap has its own little ecosystem going on here. So, I don't know. We'll find that out. But, got all resupplied. Got enough food to last me until Harper Springs. I should be there in about 2.5, 3 days. Yeah, about 3 days. 3.5 days. Because I don't plan on busting butt in this heat. If I can make 15 miles, I'll be happy. But we'll see how the trail is. And it's still pretty easy. It's a lot flatter. And then when you get towards Harpers Ferry, it turns into a roller coaster, but nothing more than 500 feet. Climbs and stuff. And here's my water source. I think I'll check this out, fill up my bottle, and continue on. But yeah, so far it's this is the hottest days we have had. About 5 days. Yeah, 5 days of 90-degree weather. Brutal, even in the shade here. I mean, it's 95 in the shade, 97 in the shade, but they say it's a little weird because they usually don't get this weather until beginning or mid-August. So I guess everything is ahead of itself. And sky looks a little bluer today, but it does still look a little funky with the ash and that and pollution going on from the wildfires in Canada. But I'm going to check out my water bottle and see what I need to do to fill her up and continue on. Enjoy the pictures and the views that I take along the way. Look at the size of this tree. It's mammoth. I couldn't wrap my arms around this if I had to. It's huge. It's a tulip popple too. Yeah, it's a tulip popple. This thing is huge. Once in a while you find these great big gigantic trees. I think they've been here for probably before the Civil War or right afterwards. Because you have to remember, like Shenandoah Park, that was a real interesting fact. It was logged off, mined. They had mines on it and iron ore pits and pounds and, you know, sharecroppers all over the place. And they really used and abused it before they put it aside as a national park. And so this is the result of protecting it. And I also found out, I don't know how true it is, but when the park was formed, there was only 2 mating bears, a male and female bear. That was the only mating pair in the whole Shenandoah park system as we know it today. Because there's nothing there to eat. They logged everything. They turned up the earth to get iron ore, rocks, and for building homes, logging, everything. They completely ravaged it. And now you would never think that they ever done that. Not the way it looks today. I mean, look, I'm still stuck in a green tunnel. But it's a nice trail so far. I'm going to continue on at a leisurely pace so I don't overheat. Got plenty of water though. My fizzy tablets. Downed a quart bottle of body armor in 2 seconds. Ate a banana. I have coconut. So I have lots of stuff for electrolytes today. I'm going to need it. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. The heat doesn't bother me so much. It's just that it wears on you when you're carrying, you know, 25, 28 pounds on your back and you're walking up and down hills. Here it ain't so bad. It's just slight hills and down, a slight hill and down. But I'll be hitting the roller coasters here pretty soon. And I'll be hitting, I think, either today or tomorrow, the West Virginia and Virginia state line. So I'll take a picture of that. You know, it'll be 5 states down, 10 to go. Yeah, this is good. This is really pretty through here. And lots of berries to munch on too. All their wine berries. It's a raspberry, but they call them wine berries here. Just slightly different looking raspberry. It's a bigger pod that they come from, and they're clear, like translucent. You can see through them, like a thimbleberry color. Not shaded like in a little powdery white like a raspberry up in north. But they're still good. And they're not as sweet though. They are sweet, but I find they're not as sweet. Even the ones that's really ripe, really dark. Like these. See how they're much clearer. You got some over here, but they are quite tasty though. Yeah, I scarf berries, handfuls of them, several times a day as I come up to the bushes. Blueberries, blackberries, and the raspberries here. Not too many blueberries here. They're up in a higher elevation. But this is what the trail's looking like. Pretty smooth. Not a whole bunch of obstacles to cross, climb over, duck, crawl through, stuff like that. Yep, I'm on the trail, white blaze. But I'll continue on and take some more pictures of cool things as I see them. Well, here's that fence again. That's a big piece of property. I just walked over 2 miles and I ran into it again. I can see where it goes down, way down there where I originally picked it up next to the road. But it goes up here. I don't know if it ends up there or not. I don't see an end to it. They might curve away or make a square up there somewhere, an angle. But I'll have to Google this, see what's so interesting here. But you can't walk through. Maybe it's like Area 51 or something. I don't know. But yeah. And look at the size of that tree there. Jeez, huge. And that's an oak. That's an old oak tree. They have some really big trees. There's a tulip there. There's another tulip right there. The walnut trees here are huge. And those vines reminded me when I was a kid. Me and my friends would swing out on them in front of cars on this one road that we used to live on, from one hill to another. And it would go over the road. Yeah, we were just kids, young and stupid. But here we go again. See if we can catch up to the fence again. And here's that fence again. Run into it again. So it's still going up this mountain here. I don't know what's beyond it, but they got it all fenced off. Relatively new fencing too. It's pretty nice. Doesn't look weathered or anything. But the buildings, when you first encounter this fence by the highway there, the state road, the buildings are all abandoned. The only place that the weeds are controlled is right by the fence, which they spray some kind of chemical and kills them all. But the buildings around the place are all abandoned. Weeds growing up around them, windows shuttered up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. So I'll have to investigate that on Google. Shouldn't be too hard to find on Google Earth or Google Maps. Or Google can tell me what it is when I put the name of some government property in Front Royal. Google knows everything. But here we are, we're continuing on, almost to the top. Beautiful. Big, gigantic trees. And still following the fence. But here we'll keep going up.